folks, and welcome to this episode of RM3D Creations. Today we're going to do some modifications on this printer. I've had this printer now for about 4 to 5 days, and I'm absolutely sick of how it's working. No, it's working actually really well, but it's time to do some really cool upgrades. I want to take you along on this journey like I said I was going to, and we're going to show you the upgrades we're going to perform on this thing. We're going to change how it interfaces with the computer. It's actually going to interface with the computer now. We're going to add a different cooling system on the nozzle tip burner thingy majigger. You know, I don't have all the terminology down right yet. Come on, give me a break. But we got a Bowden tube here. We're going to change out that to a high temperature Bowden tube so it will handle more temperature, because I'm planning on doing some ABS plastics, and that has to run at a higher nozzle temp than, no. It runs the same top. What's it? I'm talking to my what's it called when a person helps you out? Consultant. Talking with my consultant. What's the temp?
250 for ABS.
250? Are you joking? Versus 200. That's hot. Anyway. So we got to do some little temperature things here to help protect things from melting back and causing a problem running high temperatures for long periods of time. What's the other thing we're going to do? Oh, we're going to move this spool to another location, and we're going to put a little guide on there to help that spool feed that PLA, that ABS, that 1.75 beautiful material into the machine and not wear out things prematurely and put extra stresses on things. So we're going to do that. And I've got 5 new colors. I've got green, I've got lime green, I've got blue, I've got red, I got yellow. Yep, that's 5. 5 new PLA colors, and we're going to do some other stuff. There's some really cool things. We did this is like a little tolerance test thing that will tell you how tight, how good your machine can do. And this first go round wasn't pretty. It's about 10 thousandths is all it can hold. I want to get it down to 2. My goal is 2 thousandths or less, that it'll actually work and operate like it should. Because I'm picky that way. Let's jump in and show you what we're going to be doing. All right, we're going to get after the first mod. We're going to relocate this spool hanger to a more appropriate location. So we're undoing what I did just 4 days ago. Back that off. It's clean and free. Never to go back up there again. All right, the first conversion we're going to make is we're going to put the spool relocator in place. First thing you got to do is pop this little black cap off the back here, which will allow you access to slide this into place. But before we slide this into place, we're going to take and drop the old T-nuts, whoops, right into this slot here. So there's 1, there's number 2, and then we'll bolt this right onto here through the same bolt holes we used before. Come on. So this is going to go on there like this. So we want this to be on here like that. I just dropped my nuts. Alrighty. Son of a bee sting. And this part here is a 3D printed part that you can get off Thingiverse. And I will have... God, I hate this already.
That was a bitch, yeah.
So this is... Why do they have to make it so hard? You son of a... What? The Flibberty D. I'll get this. Hang with me, folks. Won't be long now. We're like an hour, hour and a half from being completed with just this portion of it. There you go. There you go, ha. What you saw there is me winning. Probably got to put it on backwards.
Yep.
It's backwards? Mm-hmm. Are you freaking kidding me?
Nope.
That's a dick move. Okay, we'll just slide right over here to the other hole. They could have made those nuts fit in there tighter. I'm going to have to edit a lot of cursing out of this one. I told you, struggles are real here. I don't have tiny hands. This doesn't make
frame.
Huh?
Is that even in frame?
I don't give a shit if it's in frame. I just want to get the cotton picker thing in there. It's in frame. Trust me, folks, this is really harder than I'm making it look. I'm leaning over the camera trying to do this cotton picking thing. That's why you guys watch my channels. You don't watch it for the successful laps around the track. You watch it for the crashes. I get that. I get it. I would too. Who knows what this is going to look like after I edit it. Now I probably not only have it backwards but upside down. It's just 50-50 shot. And I put the first screw in backwards right out of the gate. Okay. That's flipping tight. Now.
How do I?
There you go. Oh, these are on top? And it goes this way?
Yeah. That's where all the weight's going to be. That's why you want two things to hold on to it.
Hold on. Hold on. This doesn't hang over in front of this. At all. If you do it that way. I had it right the first time. Oh my God, you hate me.
I thought I went on that. I guess not.
Are you kidding me?
I'll do it.
No. No. I'll do it. I'm winning. You made me undo it.
I went that. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm thinking how I put my filament on. I slide it on this way. Not from the backside. Just think of that now.
Why? Oh, it's 2 bolts. And 2
Hardest bolt in the world.
and I can't do it. Ah! All right.
Technically, you could have just left it on there like that and put it on back.
No, I could not. I gotta do it right or not at all. All right, so you got the 2 on top here, 1 on the side. That's so I can carry the weight as I'm being understood and told. And then they better fit. Hooray! This is me winning. All right, we snap our cap back on in place like it never happened. Now, the cool part is we can hang the filament right here, and where it feeds in is right. Hey, you can't see that. Let me redo that. Look here. Filament now slides right on here, just like that. Would you look at it? And then when the filament comes off the roll now, it's going to come straight over the top here, and smoothly and gently right into the good hole right there. All right, so now we've got this little dooflopper. This is a little guide. It's got 2 AVIC 7 bearings on there and all printed stuff, which we'll have the link down below, or where you can get it, the name of it in Thingiverse. This sits on here, slides right on here just like that, and pushes on there. It has a nice snug fit, and that way this will flow right through here and right into there just like that, and we'll feed that in there when we're ready. But that was tough. How did I put this whole thing together? I could hardly do that. Just ridiculous. Does anybody else smell toast? All right. Let's move on. Now that we got that on there, look at that. Just look at that. That's awesome. Anyway, now our next step is we're going to install some strawberry Pi. No. This is a Raspberry Pi. It is going to let us connect to my computer wirelessly with the Octoprint program that is going to be installed on my desktop, or it can be installed on a laptop or whatever other computerized device that will handle that program. And what it's going to do here is we're going to take this plate off and put it on right here, and that way we can eliminate the use and the need for the micro SD card, because I'm having it right now. What I've been doing for the last 4 to 5 days is jumping back and forth between the two, or between the little adapter to get the programs onto the machine. This is going to be so much sweeter having this in place. And the cool part is it's going to have a power supply that plugs in right here, plugs into the Raspberry Pi. And the whipped cream on a Raspberry Pi is eventually I can plug in a camera so I can watch what's going on. So isn't that cool? Anyway, this is a standard Raspberry Pi configuration with a 3D printed case. That will leave a link in the description down below, and you can print your own. And then there's a program you have to put on here called Octoprint. And we'll try to go through the best way I can here with my my IT coach telling me what is right. Guys, I'm savvy, but not at everything. I've got the best IT guy in the whole world, and that's my son, and he's helping me with this. He also goes by the consultant. All right. In order to pull this off, we've got to remove 4 screws. One here, one little guy right back here. So here I am, barely got this thing together. And we're just ripping its guts apart. And then you got to run the table forward. Okay, the second screw we got to remove is back behind. It's right over here. You had to bring the table forward towards you in order to get at this screw. And now we have all the screws out that we need removed. I think I'm going to slide this back. And will this just slip forward, wonder? Let's see. All right, so now we have the Raspberry Pi back in place. This here, we just took the screws out. You're able to take and tweak this down just enough to be able to slide this in. Once you got it slid back in, you can put it back in place and start bolting things down. We're going to go ahead and get all the screws started in loosely first to make sure we can get them all in there without binding or creating any issues, cross-threading issues or anything like that. In case you guys are wondering, there's a long screw and a short screw, and the short screw goes in the front. All right, 7 days later, we're there. So this little guy, blip, plugs in there, and you can pick one of any 4 of these to plug it in. I'm going here. Just like that. Now the cool part here on this particular one, I'll be able to do one of these numbers if I want. I can put that behind the rubber foot, set it down just like that, and that makes a nice little clean, neat assembly. Oh now, would you look at that? That turned out pretty good. Now this is printed. You could put a cooling fan in here if you wanted to. It's a little 30mm fan that could go into here and plug into your strawberry shortcake there, and we're good to go. Now on to the next step. All right, I'm gonna make sure I get this right because I'm pretty sure I just screwed this up what I told you guys. Everything assembly wise is 110% correct. This is called why can't I get that down? Octoprint. This is called Octoprint. This is the program that is installed on this orange souffle pie. Okay, I don't have it all screwed up now. On the Raspberry Pi, okay? The Raspberry Pi. We've got Octoprint installed on the Raspberry Pi. That allows it to go out and capture an IP address, so now I can connect to it wirelessly with my computer. Is that right, Mr. Consultant? You guys couldn't hear that, but he nodded his head. Yes, I got it right. Whew. So if you're thinking about leaving a comment about how dumb I am on this stuff, don't. So we're going to jump on the computer next and show you how that interface works. Here's what it looks like, Octoprint. This is what we put as part of our Google. So let me just show you how I get there. I'm going to close this out. We're going to go to a brand new Google page. Up here it's been installed to where I can access Octoprint. I click on that. It's going to open up. And in here it just automatically connected back to my printer that's currently running. As you can see, I'm running the Concrete Fish right now. It actually shows you the print time, the time left, and all that kind of fun stuff, and in the state that the thing's in, it's printing. It'll actually come over here and show you the path it's currently in. You can see that moving around, which is pretty slick. So it's previewing the layers there. It's showing you what layers we're doing. Up at the very top here, it's giving me information. These are all things you have to make sure you add-ons, they call it, that you place on there. The SoC, which is the Raspberry Pi, and how it is, the chip on it, the temperature it's running at. It's got a heat sink on it, so it's running about just under 50 C. We've got the tool tip running at 200 C. We've got the bed running at 50 C, and it just gives you a really nice description of what's going on there. But yeah, you can go in here now. When you get done with your slicing program, whether it's Cura or another program that you're using, when you get done slicing and save off the G-code file, you can go here, search, find it, upload it into this, and then hit print from here. Just this little icon right there. You can hit print, and it sends it to the thing. It sends it to the printer, and you don't have to do anything with it being wired or saving it to a chip anymore, and all that kind of fun stuff. So see, it just finished up a layer. Now it's starting another layer. So it's pretty cool stuff. All right, we're going to cover a couple things here during this whole assembly of this new Petsfang. It's a two-piece assembly here. It's redirecting the air, the cooling air, down from this super duper cool fan here down. It blows this way and kind of back. So it's got holes on both sides versus the existing one just comes down on one side. It's been improved on this version. Obviously, it works better than the old ones did, but this mod is still a better fix. So there's two screws on the back here we have to take loose to pull this off, and that's what I'm going to go after right now. One has been removed, and the other one's right here. There's one up top, and we have to remove two screws here. One's here, one's directly behind this other wheel over here. And we've already got this one removed. Now we're going to remove this one. Now that we got that removed, we're just going to break it to get it out of the way. I'm just kidding. We're not breaking anything. What's holding that on there? Some kind of sticky nastiness?
Fan.
Oh.
You gotta unscrew the fans in there now.
Now I got to unscrew the fans. Oh, this fan.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if we can get that. Yep, there we go. 1Z and 2Z. And where is it going now? There's another fan. Ah. I got this one screw right here we're going to take out. Alright, we're getting after it, boys. There's no going back now. There we go. Old housing. So you can see here the old fan duct blew in right here and blew out right there. So we're going to take this loose. And this fan we're not using, are we?
Nope.
So what do we do with it? Oh, this hurts me so bad. I'm going to cut wires. I'm going to cut wires. Which one? Don't cut the blue wire. Oh, boom. We just blew up. Oh, this saddens me. This saddens me so much. I'm cutting wires on my brand new printer. All right. It's all in the name of process improvement. Okay, let's take this Bowden tube out. So we got to remove this little blue clip here. We got another little blue clip back here. There we go. There's a small one and a big one. Look at that. They're two different sizes. And now we're going to cut these little zip ties to free the Bowden tube from the wiring situation. Oh yeah. Didn't know you're going to be using the tools they provided you with the printer to destroy it. Let's see, we'll push this in and pull that out. All right, and the next thing we got to do is remove the pneumatic clamp. It's just threaded in there. Remember, looking down on it, counterclockwise, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Anything else and you'll be destroying stuff. And we got a brandy new one here. Actually, it's just a better quality one. It's got a more positive clicking and holding capabilities. So we're swapping it out. Since we're also going to be putting new Bowden tube on here that's going to take the higher temperatures like we talked about before. Feels like I'm putting a turbocharger on something before I've even had the first oil change. That's plenty tight. What? Talk!
Take it off a half a turn, so when you put the Bowden tube in.
I thought we were going to do the thing. Would you make up my mind? There. Alright, I've got the new tube measured up to the same length as the old tube. And we got this little handy dandy little Bowden tubing coupler. Oh, snap! Good enough. Not just good, but good enough. Alright, now we can stick this back in here. We're going to push it down till it stops. It should come up to a hard stop. Oh, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that down against the nozzle tip while I back this off 1/2 a turn from tight. That way she's up tight against the nozzle. Now this here, we're going to replace this one next with the new nicer one. Boom, out with the old. In with the new. Hey, the wrench don't fit because this is bigger. This one's a badass. Alright. Don't put too much torque on things you shouldn't put torque on. And then this can go right back in here. Is that far enough? Feels like it. Alright. Then we can reinsert our little spacer clips back on here to ensure that these get held locked in place very well. Very well. Alright. So we'll be zip tying that back on. But now we're going to go ahead and put our new Petsfang. Okay, we're going to put this on next. And basically this is going to just hook. Do we need these nuts in here anymore?
They're friction held in there tight.
Oh, and those will actually tighten up and touch against this, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, this is going to go on here like that. This is going to hook. This little hook area here is going to hook right on here. And normally you would have 2 screws, one here and one here. But on this particular print, these 2 holes don't line up, but this one does. And we can get away with just one. It's not a big deal.
This one was made for the Ender 3.
Yeah.
This is the Ender 3 V2, so it's just slightly different mounting holes.
Slightly different. Alright, we feel like we have that seated in position. We're going to give that a little snugging. There. And you can see that's really stable, really secure. And you want to make sure this is sitting not too skewed one way or the other. And so next we're going to put the fan on. Where's my little screws for the fan? Was that? Alright, we're partway there with the Petsfang installation. Alright, we're good now. We got this in place. Now we're going to take this little wire here and we're going to tuck it back underneath here. These are going to eventually tuck up under here, but that doesn't interfere with what I'm doing right now. I just need to make sure this one's back. And we're going to slide this back in place. We're getting there.
Are you on the black wire?
I'm not sure what I'm on.
Oh yeah, you are crushing it.
Felt like it was in. There we go. Right there. There we go. We got 4 screws, 2 on each side. Let's see if I can get them started here. There we go. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we've got this in place. We want to make sure that the very top edge of this, it's hard to see this black on here, but the very top edge of the opening is at the top, you know, flush with the top of this area here, right here, top of the nozzle area. It's kind of hard. Let me see if I can point it a little bit better for you. Like the top right here, the very top edge here where the opening's at is flush with up here, right up in here. And that'll get the air in the right location, blowing the air in the right location for you. And once you get that in place, you tighten up your screws. So now what we've gone from is the look of this being on here to the look of that. If you really were attached to that, I guess you could get yourself some super glue and glue it on there, but you ain't gonna do that. That's dumb. It's turbocharged now. Twin turbos. It had 2 fans before, but now it's got 2 fans blowing in the proper direction. Now what we're gonna do, this is the last step before zip tying, is we've got our 2 wires coming out here. Where's my blue wire? There we go. All right, we got our blue wire and our yellow wire. And we got our black wire and our red wire. And everybody knows which 2 goes together, right? Good. Because I don't. Which 2 go together?
Trial and error.
Are you silly?
It's either going to spin forward or spin backwards.
Oh my God, are you for real?
I think
Well,
it's red and yellow.
I'm going to guess, yeah, yellow and red go together. That makes orange. And black and blue just makes a bruise. Must work, right? Let's do that. Well, now we're gonna actually do a little more cutting. I'm gonna cut this wire off. I'm gonna leave myself a little extra in case I need more extra later on in the future. But we'll cut this one off about right here. Let's just do that right now. Right now. I'm gonna cut it. No going back now. And then we're gonna strip it. And then we're gonna, you guessed it, if you guys have seen me do any wiring work on here, and if you've ever watched that 70s show, we're gonna solder it. The future is soldering. Let's go get the soldering gun and hook her up. Alrighty. So now we did hook the black and blue makes bruise, red and yellow makes orange. That's how we connected it. Can you see that? That's a temporary connection, folks. That's not soldered. But when this fan's in here, it's rotating counterclockwise is the proper direction to blow air out of this fan down. And this fan is obviously, we didn't do anything with the wiring of that. It's still pulling in. So now we're going to go ahead and he's going to turn it on real quick over there at the computer completely wirelessly. There it goes. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if you can hear that over my furnace. But yeah, so that's running now. You can turn it right back off again. There we go, it's off. All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and make this connections permanent with a little bit of solder and a little bit of heat shrink tubing. All right, we got the new hangerty-dangerty, and we got our little new little guides here. I'll send it right between there. And this is hard to get visual on, but there we go. Then we can pinch this open, I believe. Yeah, like that, right?
Yep.
Cool. Let me just Feed it in until we feel it stop. That's it. We're in. Isn't that cool looking? Now she's... Oh yeah. That's sweet. She's pet fanged up. Now the cool part is, in my basement here, I had an area here where I had sewing machines. As you can see here, I'm going to be removing these 2 sewing machines, and this is going to be its new home. My computer is clear over here, and before I had it right next to my computer because I had to keep changing out this little SD card, micro SD card, to bring my programs over and hit go. Now I can monitor everything from my computer. I can see the temperature, bed temperature, and everything. I don't even have to see this screen any longer. No, just became obsolete for me. Excelente. Well, let's fire it up and give her a warm up and see how it works and print us a little test piece. All right, we got her all touched off. We got the bed re-leveled. If you watch my first video, you'll see how I leveled the bed quite easily. Done. And as you can see now, my cohort over here is running things remotely. No wires attached any longer. And we got some red filament in there. I finally got that showed up today. I'm like, we're going to make some really cool stuff with some really neat contrast to the bed. Alright, we've completed the test piece. So what this has here is a 0.5 millimeter clearance, clear down to 0.1 millimeter clearance. So the 5 millimeter clearance, you can see spins freely, and then you just work your way down from there. And they might have to, they got a little screwdriver slot in the back that you can actually, they might have a little tab that you break free. But so we go down to 3.3 millimeter. That spins very freely. 0.25 very freely. 0.2 freely, and I got down to the 1.5 stuck. So the 1.5 and the 0.1 stuck. So that tells me I'm only now accurate down to 0.15 millimeter, and that's not quite good enough for me. I believe we're going to have to do a quick adjustment, and I'll show you that here in a second on the cooling head, because I think that has a little bit to do with it, and then we'll run another one, and we'll see how that one tests out. And I'd love to get it down to the 0.1 if I can. That would be great. But 0.15 wouldn't be awful either, because I'm going for accuracy on the parts I'm going to be creating, and I want to make sure this machine can do the accurate stuff I want it to do. But let's we're going to go back into printing here, and I want to show you a couple other things, and we'll be off to the races, I think. Alright, print just finished up. I just finished printing this fish, and I want to change color. So the nozzle's still hot. I believe it's going to work pretty good. I'm not going to try to do a cold pull. I'm just going to remove the material while the nozzle's still warm. Let's do that. Or, better yet, let's come over here, see if I can get the glare off the screen. We'll go prepare, and we'll go to preheat PLA. And what that's going to do, because it's already down to 135 degrees, we're going to go ahead and heat that up. So it's 135 is good. We can do a pull here. I'm trying to do this without one hand. I'm going to open up the pinch roller and pull out here. Whew. I pulled out kind of tough. I pulled out tough, but I got it out. Alright, I got my blue in here now, and I want to show you something. Let's see if I can get you in here somehow. I made another adjustment. This cooling fan, the top of the opening, I'll show you this one more time here if I can get it up on here. Actually, it could drop down just a little bit more. I'm trying to get the very top edge of that opening flush with this surface right here, so that gets the maximum cooling. That feels pretty good. Actually, it looks pretty good. I think the right side could actually, rotate. See here, it could actually tilt down this way a little bit. I'm gonna try that. Okay, now you can kind of get an idea how that profile looks. We're gonna run that on the next print to see how that turns out. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a nozzle purge. I've got the blue in there. I didn't do a really good cold pull. You can see the reds hanging out of here. We're gonna do a nozzle purge, and I'll do a 10mm nozzle purge. Look at all that red come out. Looks like we need to do it again. We're going to do it until we see blue come out. Look at that, it's changing color now. And for a third time. Looks like we're getting our color. There's still a little red there. Oh no, we're coming out blue. Let's do one more. There we go. Now we got the good old blue coming out. Now we'll switch it back to cool down. We got our blue ready to rock and roll. Looks like, see if the bed's cooled off enough now to pull this fish off. We can start our next print. That was stuck good. And I had the bed off. I mean, the bed's still got a little warmth to it. It's not cold, but it's not bad. Now the other thing, if you touch this a lot with your fingers, you're going to want to clean it. I've got some 91% isopropyl alcohol. Now I'm just going to wet my paper towel down and just kind of give this a good little wipe down. Get it all good and clean. I'm going to step over to the computer and start this thing from my computer. I've got my next print ready to go. We're going to warm it up, let her rip. Alright, we're up to temp, both nozzle and bed. Now she's going to come down and do her Z touch off, and we'll be off to the races. Now this part I'm printing out here is a part that I actually drew, exported as an STL file, brought it into my Cure program, and did the slicing. And now we're going to print it. That'll be the first time I've done this from scratch, so this is going to be a great test to make sure I have my process as far as that goes down. Not saying I've got the design part mastered, by no means, but let me see, she's coming down now. She's going to touch off, and we're going to start with some blue. Let's see how it turns out. Now the blue doesn't show up on the bed quite as well as the bright orange did, but that's okay. Looks like she's working so far. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that episode. We did a lot of neat mods on that thing. I am happy with how it's turned out so far. I'm doing my last test thing, but I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'll start off the next video with how that the clearance tolerance test. What do you want to call this thing? You know, the little fidget spinner little test thing. Anyway, we're gonna start out the next video saying how that went. But we're having some good luck here. Everything's running really good. We made a lot of cool mods. We did the new Petsfang mod. We did the moving the roller mod with a new input mod, and we put the Raspberry Pi mod. Lots of mods. It's just it's a high performance mod machine now. Anyway, a lot of cool stuff. All the stuff we put on this thing, all the products that we use to make this thing is down in the description. There's links to the Amazon where you can buy all the stuff you need. The files are all listed there as well, where you can go to Thingiverse and download them and print all those mods yourself. So the beautiful thing about this is you could have got this printer like I did. Now my son printed a lot of these mods for me because he already had it printed before I even got the printer here. But I could have easily downloaded those mods, printed them all myself, and then put them on. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of like the machine can build its own parts to make itself better. It's self-aware. Look out, Skynet. Anyway, here I am wearing the wrong glasses again. No wonder I can't see. That's better. Well, anyway, I had a good time on this video. We did a lot of good stuff. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for everybody that has jumped on board my new channel and have subscribed. And there's going to be so much good content coming. I can't wait to build these outboard parts. I'm taking my time to learn how to run this machine properly, trying out the different materials, going to make them primo, so when I show you how I'm going to do them, I can show you how I'm going to do them right. But I got very high hopes. I'm getting better at my software that I'm learning to do some drawing and engineering drawing in, whatever you want to call it. It's CAD software basically. It's called Fusion 360. I'll dive into more of that, and I'll walk you through a process. I actually, first time, drew it up, did the STL file, put it into Cura, sliced it the way I wanted to, positioned it and sliced it and printed it start to finish. So it's pretty cool. This what's it called? This Octoprint that I showed you earlier, that is kind of the cat's meow. I'm really enjoying that. It lets you do some things on your machine that your machine doesn't really have. It lets you do it easier remotely. I can purge real easy. It's kind of neat to, you just do a lot of neat stuff in it, and it monitors everything while it's running, and I can sit there and look at it on my computer. And the cool part is, since it's on my Wi-Fi here, I could actually have it on my phone, and I could be upstairs in bed and kind of see how things are going. And eventually, the next thing we're going to have on this thing real soon is there's going to be a camera plugged into that, so I can actually sit there. I could be up in bed, watch the TV, and then I could check in on my print. Or I could be anywhere else in the house or out in my shop even, because it's got Wi-Fi out in the shop, and I could be on, as long as I'm on the network, I'll be able to see what's going on. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. As you saw in this video, my son was with me on this one. He's been 3D printing stuff for 4 years now, so he's well versed in it, and he's educating me right along so I can educate you guys. He's not an in front of the camera kind of guy. I kind of am, I guess. But everything he does for me is solid, rock solid. He puts my computer together for me. I got an older computer right now, but when he puts my computer together, it is solid. I mean, the guy does IT work for a living, so there's no question about it. He's, in my opinion, one of the best IT guys I know. So anyway, you guys get out there and have some fun. Stay tuned for more stuff, exciting stuff coming. I'm going to try to drop 1 or 2 more videos this week, this upcoming week. And let's get this channel launched off and on the right track. And welcome all your suggestions. Stay tuned as well. I'm going to have a P.O. box I'm going to go get. So if you guys can send me parts, you can send them to me. And I'm going to work out a whole deal with that, how I can, you guys send me parts that you need replicated. I'll determine if I can do them or not. And then I'll print them and recreate them for you for free. But I get the intellectual property of what I create, I keep, and then I might remake and sell. So anyway, that's one of the things I have in mind to do. You guys get out there and have some fun. Enjoyed being with you today. This is Michael, and I'm out. Hi folks, and welcome to the second video created by RM3D Creations. Cut. Hi folks, and welcome back to RM3D Creations. This is the first damn air conditioning heating unit